Hey guys, Angelo here again with another narrated PBR battle. This time it's a friend match against Charizard215. This is actually like the first friend match I've actually narrated, so bear with me. I did it at his request to narrate this. So I throw out my brand spanking new Provo Pass, ready to kick some ass and take some names, while he throws out his Vigoroth, and Vigoroth uses Earthquake, and Provo Pass goes down in one hit. Single emote tier. I was really annoyed that Provo Pass went out straight away. I was too eager to use it really, but oh well, that's my own stupid fault. Anyway, I used Dusclops next, and I go with a Will-O-Wisp on his Vigoroth, but he must have been predicting that anyway, and he goes with the Taunt, and obviously I can't use Will-O-Wisp after the Taunt. But thankfully my Dusclops has a fighting move anyway, even though its attack is quite low generally. So he expects to switch and goes with the return. I don't switch, I use Brick Break. Obviously doesn't do a huge amount, like I said, because of Dusclops' low attack comparatively and the lack of boosting. So it does affect a little bit of damage, and this turn he decides to switch out Vigoroth and throw out Regirock. Now, this bit of the battle involves a fair bit of stalling, so you have to bear with me. I decide to keep... Oh, no, I don't. I switch out Dusclops for Cacturn. He decides to go with a Curse, which is not so good for me, and restores health with leftovers. I was thinking, yeah, I'm just going to sub anyway, just see what he does next. Hopefully do another Curse. But instead, this Regirock has Ice Punch, and it breaks the sub easily enough. I figure Cacturn's not really going to have much of a chance against Regirock, so I think to send in Seadra, but I don't, so I send in Dusclops again, just to try to get some damage on it. Regirock uses Ice Punch again, expecting me to stay in, and it does a little bit of damage to Dusclops, not a huge amount. I go with Will-O-Wisp this turn, and okay, this is the bit where it kind of drags on for a while, you know, like going back and forth or whatever, but it's not like that long of kind of stalling war or whatever you call it. He uses Stone Edge. It does a fair amount of damage to Dusclops. Dusclops uses Will-O-Wisp. It misses. It misses a good couple of times in this match, which I was thrilled about. But this turn I decided to use Pain Split instead, and Stone Edge actually misses, although it actually would have been more beneficial for me if Stone Edge had hit and then not being critical, so I would have restored more health and done more damage to him. But anyway, because of Regirock's ton of HP, Pain Split and Leftovers Recovery takes me back to almost full health. So I go with another Will-O-Wisp this turn, and he curses again, and Will-O-Wisp misses again. So yeah, I wasn't too pleased by this point. Stupid 75% accuracy moves missing. This game has a very, very weird sense of, you know, accuracy, you know, random amounts. But anyway, thankfully this turn Will-O-Wisp hits, and because Regirock was now slower than Dusclops, it got it off first before Regirock could curse. Now, this turn was a brilliant piece of prediction by Charizard, because I switch out Dusclops and I send in Seadra, and he explodes, which I was not expecting. Had I stayed in with Dusclops, then Regirock would have gone down for nothing, but he managed to take my Seadra down to its Focus Sash, which was a bit irritating, because normally that would give me some leeway to get up in agility. Right, he sends out Masquerain, and I wasn't entirely sure why he did that. I was thinking, you know, maybe it's Choice Scarf, maybe it's faster, but it turns out that it's not, so I use Ice Beam, it gets a critical. Probably wouldn't have mattered hugely in the grand scheme of things. His Masquerain uses Energy Ball, takes down Seadra easily enough, as expected. I send out Medicham, and I decide to Bullet Punch it to death. I know Medicham. I was pretty sure Medicham would actually outspeed it had I used Ice Punch. Probably would have been a better idea had he decided to switch. But I really wasn't sure what he might switch into, so Bullet Punch hits and Masquerain goes down. He then decides to switch in his Golduck, which, yep, Golduck, here we go. I wasn't sure what to do here, because, like, obviously, I know with Golducks they might be packing Hypnosis, so I decide to risk it and go with an Endure, see what happens. Thankfully he uses Hydro Pump, and it takes me down to 1 HP, so Salak Berry activates, which is fantastic for me, and I use Reversal, of course, in the hopes that, you know, I'll sweep his entire team if I'm lucky, but he decides to keep Golduck in, and Reversal hits and easily KOs Golduck, no sweat. Right, by this point I thought, you know, I might be able to get through quite a lot of his team, but as kind of with Reversal strategies, they never seem to really want to work. He sends out an Arbok, and it intimidates Medicham, where I was thinking, you know, oh well, it'll probably do it. It might not KO, but it might do a fair bit of damage. But Reversal hardly does less than half, which I was really shocked about, even though it was not very effective enough to intimidate. But actually, I guess I probably shouldn't be that surprised. And then he takes me down with Poison Jab. So I send out Dusclops again, who really is the star of this match, to be quite honest. And I go with Will-O-Wisp, just to kind of cripple it. And his Arbok uses Stockpile, which kind of makes me think, you know, this Arbok must be pretty damn bulky. And thankfully Will-O-Wisp hits, it burns, and I go with Nightshade, I believe, for some, you know, fixed damage. Uses Rest, and Chesto, Berry wakes up, and Nightshade does a little bit of damage, not a huge amount, and I decide to go with another Will-O-Wisp, just because it's get some extra damage on it before he decides to rest again. But he decides to switch, and switches back in Vigoroth. Will-O-Wisp misses for the 3rd time in this match. Yeah, it's not like I'm keeping count or anything, so I decide to use Brick Break in case he used Taunt again. But he goes with an Ice Punch, Life Orb damage activates, and Brick Break finishes off Vigoroth, thankfully. So, yeah, a bit of Leftovers recovery, always good. And he now sends out one of his last few Pokemon, which is Magneton, and I wasn't quite sure how to deal with it. I was thinking, you know, I'll see how much damage it does, and, you know, Pain Split some of it back. And it uses Flash Cannon. It does a lot of damage, and I use Pain Split, and I get a fair bit of health back. But I was thinking, you know, at this point, you know, maybe this isn't so good, because he's probably going to do more damage to me than I can Pain Split back. He gets a critical, which was annoying, so I'm just left with 2 Pokemon, and I go with Cacturne, and because I don't really have much else left other than Zapdos, which you'll find out in a minute, I did something with Zapdos. I use Sucker Punch, it's not very effective. Hidden Power hits, I figured, and it KOs Cacturne easily. Okay, this is the talking point of the battle, really. I decide to give up with Zapdos. I mean, we'd been enjoying this, like, really good kind of, like, NU, not fully evolved battle, and I just kind of felt cheap if I was going to win the battle with Zapdos. So, it's just like, it wasn't to be disrespectful or anything. I know a load of you aren't going to agree with what I decided to do. I felt a bit crummy after doing it anyway, but, you know, I kind of felt like sticking to my kind of morals. I mean, morals in Pokemon, it's kind of a funny thing to talk about, really, but, you know, I was enjoying a good battle. It wouldn't have been fun for me to win just because of Zapdos. I mean, I might not have won anyway regardless, because he told me his Magneton had kind of Endure and Salak Berry, so his Magneton would have done a fair amount of damage to Zapdos, although it didn't have a hidden power ice. So, and then he still had his Arbok with a fair amount of HP, which was quite bulky, but my Zapdos did have kind of Roost to knock off the damage. But I'm not sure who would have won, to be honest, by the end of it, but I stand by my decision to give up, really. I didn't want to win by cheapish method. We didn't exactly agree, you know, like, use NU Pokemon either, but I just thought it would kind of disrupt the fun. But like I said, maybe I should have gone about it better. Maybe I should have continued to the end anyway. But as you guys might not agree with me, but that's what I decided to do. Like I said, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful anyway. I always respect my opponents as much as possible. But that's about it, really. That's why I gave up. Anyway, thanks for watching.